Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. As you guys can see by the title, today we're going to be trying so much new makeup, foundation, primer, blushes, palettes. Like, I have so much new stuff to show you guys. I have tried some of it, and some of them will be first impressions, so I hope that this video is helpful, and I also hope that you enjoy this video. If you do enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into it. Hi guys! I'm so excited to be back. Sorry that I have been kind of not posting as much. I know I'm like a broken record, but I've been posting every day on TikTok and Instagram, and it just, you know, it's a lot of content, but I will always be back for you guys. Like I mentioned in the intro, we do have a lot of products to go through. This is actually all going to be high-end makeup. I just have so much drugstore and high-end makeup, so I figured, like, why not separate them? So I will have a drugstore video coming for you guys as well, but it's always fun to dabble into a little bit of high-end makeup, so super excited to show you guys. Okay, so we're actually going to start out with some primer. Now this is very exciting because you guys know one of my favorite primers or skincare products to use, what the heck, is actually the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dewdrops. Well, they just came out with a tinted version. I know that there's so freaking many like blonde, I can't even speak, bronzy drops and like glowy drops, and just literally this has always just been kind of repeating itself on the market. But this actually gets me excited because I actually love the formula of this already. So it's already a product that I know that I love, and it also has bronziness to it. So super excited to show you guys. I have already tried this and I am a fan. It looks a little scary when it first comes out because it looks extremely dark. As you guys can see, it looks like it's not gonna work for me, but just wait till I blend it out. Like I mentioned, it's literally the exact same formula, maybe just a little bit less glowy, but just more bronzy, and it does have all those skincare benefits that we love. And see how it is blending out very nicely? It's like extremely sheer. I definitely don't think this would make too much of a difference if you are deeper than me. But if you already love the niacinamide dewdrops and you like the formula and you like how it sits on your skin, whether it's just a skincare or as a primer under makeup, if you just want to add a little bit of a bronzy tint, might as well just get the tinted version. They're both really, really nice. I like that it's this sheer because I feel like this is one of those products that you can actually just wear on its own, and it does, you know, look natural. I just look a little bit more bronzy. Like I said, not the biggest difference. I don't think you should buy this if you really want like bronzing drops, but if you already love the glow drops from Glow Recipe and you just want like something a little bit different, I think this is also nice. Also, you can mix the glow drops with your foundation, and so if you want to make it just a little bit bronzier, I think this is like a nice subtle way to do it with amazing skincare benefits, and I think it looks beautiful. So I really do like this. Moving on to foundation, Makeup Forever actually came out with a new foundation. You guys know how much I love the Makeup Forever HD Skin Original Foundation. Well, they actually came out with a glowy version. I have already tried this many times, and a lot of you guys were asking me how it compares to the original, so I will be showing you guys that today. This is again Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydra Glow Foundation, and today I'll be using the shade 2N22. Oh, let me get a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so I have been really, really liking this. With most foundations, I just prefer to do just one pump and then make that work for the rest of my face. We might do maybe another half pump, we'll see. But what I love to do, let me get this cat hair out of here, is just kind of warm it up on my hands and then apply it on my face, and then we'll blend it out with a sponge or a brush. Look how beautiful it's blending out. It reminds me of like a mixture of a skin tint and a foundation. So on its own, it's essentially just like a very lightweight, light to medium coverage foundation that is glowy and hydrating. The way it compares to the original, they're both very lightweight, liquidy, and wear really, really nicely on the skin. If you're looking for something that is going to be a little bit more blurring, maybe if you have more oily skin, but if you just want more of a perfected foundation, I think the original one is better. But if you do prefer something a little bit glowier, a little bit more hydrating, and therefore it's just not going to look as like flawless, but it still looks more skin-like, then then you would really like this one. So like I said, I really like them both for different occasions. I've been loving this one for the winter time because my skin is a little bit drier, but the OG is still like one of my favorites. So I really like how they did this so that, you know, you still get a little bit of difference from either, and it just depends on the look that you're going for or your skin type, and they're both really, really nice. The shade is a little too light for me, which actually makes me happy. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw that I was in Tulum for like 10 days. I actually went for a bachelorette party, and then I stayed behind, and Wyatt actually met up with me, and I finally got a tan. I am so happy. I know this foundation still works really, really nice for me, but when I first tried it out, it was a little dark for me, so it just makes me happy. I just want to get tan. I'm just ready for summer. I'm ready for that. So let me zoom you guys in a little bit. A lot of it. Hi. So this is what the skin looks like. Obviously, we do have those niacinamide dewdrops under, so it's going to be a little bit extra glowy, but I feel like this is a fair representation of this foundation. See how it looks? Maybe not perfected like the other one, but it looks more skin-like. It looks breathable. Again, it almost feels and looks kind of like a tinted moisturizer with just a little bit more coverage. I think it's a beautiful foundation. I know that like just high-end makeup in general is like obviously more expensive, but you guys saw what I did with like 1.5 pumps, and it did cover my whole skin, and it does wear really, really nicely, so I'm a big fan of this. Okay, so I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just gonna use the Tower 28 one while we're here. I have the shade MDR. You guys, have you been listening to the Ariana Grande new album, Eternal Sunshine? At first when I heard it, I was like, it's cute, but I feel like all the songs sound the same. But for me, it kind of takes a little bit for me to like really, really like songs. And I feel like now that I've listened to it longer, I really, really like it. I still wish, like, when she came out with that song, Yes And, even though it's like, let's be honest, it's like, ooh, you know, with everything that happened, you know, it's kind of like, you hate that it's a bop. You hate that it's good. You hate that you like it because, you know, ethics. I thought that her album would actually end up being more like that, and it really wasn't. I kind of wish that it would have had more like bops, but overall, do you think it's a good album? It's very, a lot of hot goss on that album. I don't have a new high-end cream bronzer, so I'll be using the Milani Cheek Kiss cream bronzer in the shade Spilling Tea to bronze up the face and contour the nose. Okay, so moving on to cream blush. LYS came out with their blush sticks. You guys know how much I have been writing so hard for the bronzer sticks. I'm surprised they came out with, actually, no, I'm not surprised. I was surprised at first that they came out with shimmery blush sticks. I kind of wanted them to be matte, but they're pretty good. I do have all the shades. They did send them to me in PR. If you want to see all the shades swatched, I did do a swatch video on my Instagram as well as TikTok. I'm trying to think. The one that I've used the most is actually Elite, and it is so pretty. And just like their bronzer sticks, they are super, super pigmented, and they just work really well for lighter to deeper skin tones, so we love that about them. I'm trying to think of what shade to use. Should I just use Elite again? Because you know what? Let me use Elite because you on YouTube haven't seen the shade Elite, and it is my favorite. Packaging is the same as the bronzer sticks. It just comes in like a little pink color, and then this is what the product looks like. Same concept. So I'm just gonna do a little stripe on my face. Again, very pigmented, so be careful. Look at that pigment. Did you see how it literally just melted onto my skin? Let me see. Let me grab a brush. Let me just show you guys how it melts, because it truly does melt. Like, don't be that afraid of the pigment because it melts. You see what I mean? And look how beautiful it is. Again, at first, you guys know I just don't love like that much shimmer. At first, I was like, ooh, I wish that they were just matte, but this is an actual pretty shimmer. It's not chunky, it's not glittery, it melts onto the skin. It is so freaking beautiful. So I'm pretty impressed with these. I have actually tried them over powder, and they do work over powder, but like most cream products, I do think that they're a lot prettier on cream under powder, but they do work over powder. And if you feel like maybe you just look a little bit too matte, you can just grab a little bit on the brush and just tap it at the end of your makeup, and it does bring that glow back and that dewiness back. I think these are really pretty. I think they actually killed it with the formulation, with the shades, with the actual finish of them. I think they're really, really nice. So if you were thinking thinking about getting them, you should try them out. I'm not going to build it up that much just because we do have another blush to try, but you can definitely get this super, super pigmented. Again, they're meant to work for everyone. Yay! For powder, I feel like I honestly have no idea if I've spoken about this powder or not on my YouTube yet. Huda Beauty, which makes my favorite like loose setting powder ever, came out with a peach shade, which a lot of people have been wanting. They have a lot of different like undertones. Obviously, the pink craze was like a craze, and you know, some of us that are definitely a little bit warmer, a little bit more olive, even a little bit more neutral, you know, the pink powder is just maybe not the most flattering. Obviously, no rules to makeup, but this peach one is kind of where it's at. As you guys can see, I obviously have the sample size, not the sample size, the travel size, and so it does look a lot different, but I will say you do get quite a bit of powder on this one. The only thing I don't love is that it actually comes with a sponge that is very stiff and like I will never use it. I wish it just came with a little lid so I could put powder on the lid. I find myself putting it on my hand, which I don't love. The shade is called Peach Pie. I do like it. I think it definitely suits people more that have like warmer or olivey undertones. For me personally, it doesn't like brighten for me. I think it's maybe just a natural shade for me. I will say, normally I don't use this powder under my eyes. I do love setting my whole face with it and baking, but it is pretty under the eyes. It just can get a little bit drying, but with a nice hydrating setting spray, like you're good to go. So I'm gonna apply some on the back of my hand, and we're gonna go ahead and apply it with a powder puff, and you guys will see. Just watch how blurring and beautiful this powder is. You know what? I feel like on camera it looks more brightening than it really is on me personally in person. But as you guys can see, it is so beautiful. It literally looks flawless, and it just sets your makeup really, really nicely. If you have oily skin, you would love this, but don't be afraid of it if you do have dry skin, because I have dry skin, and again, I can get away with this. As long as you just add hydrating products under and on top, you're good to go. But this is literally the most, I mean, I know you guys know all about the Huda Beauty powder, let's be honest. We're just talking about the shade here, but if you haven't tried this, just try it. Trust me, just try it. Get a little sample size, a little travel size, and you're good to go. But yeah, absolutely stunning. I love it. The peach shade, again, for me, I think it's a little bit more natural on me, so this is not something I would use if I'm trying to brighten with my medium skin tone. If you have deeper skin tone though, this might be a really, really beautiful, like, color correcting, peachy brightening powder for you. And something that I do like about this is when I'm trying to like make my makeup last a really long time, I do like to set my whole face with the Huda Beauty powder, and this shade is actually perfect for me for my whole face. So I'm gonna go ahead and just set the rest of my face so that we can move on to the next products. Okay, so moving on to like powder, bronzer, blush. I actually received these in PR from Smashbox. They are the Halo face palettes. I obviously am super grateful for any type of PR, but I will say they have like 5 different like color stories, and they sent me the 2 lightest ones, and I wish they hadn't, because I was super excited about these, and I don't know, I just feel like the lighter ones might not work that well for me, but this is what they look like. They do have a mirror, so they do have a bronzer, 2 blushes, and a highlighter. This one is in the shade Pink Saturation, which, where is the saturation? But obviously, like I said, they do have more shades. I just feel like they sent me the lighter ones. And this one is like more corally, and this one's in the shade Back to Cali. Let's just use like the corally one. I'm gonna try to bronze with this. We'll see how that goes. If not, we can just throw some other bronzer over, but let's just try them out and see how it goes. I do like the packaging. I think it's really nice, perfect for travel. So if you do find your perfect shade, but let's try out the formula. I actually haven't tried out the formula. I will be trying this with you guys. So I'm gonna grab a little brush like this, and let's just see what this bronzer can do for us. Like I said, I don't know if it can do anything for us, but we will see. I'm gonna like pack it on. Well, I don't even know how pigmented it is. Okay, I feel like it's warming up the face a little bit. It's very subtle. I feel like these powders are probably all gonna be pretty subtle. So again, I think I just have the wrong shade, because they did have like deeper, more richer shades. But I do think that I'm like able to build it up enough to where my face does look warm. I'm glad I put that cream bronzer down, because I feel like this would have been kind of hard to build up without that. The powder itself does look really pretty. It actually looks like nothing on my skin, like not just because of the pigment, but the powder itself, like I'm literally packing it on, trying to build it, and it's kind of just melting onto the skin. Very skin-like, as I just said in a different way. So far I do like the bronzer. If I had my right shade, I think I would like it more, but it's definitely giving natural. It's giving snatchural, and so I am a fan of that. I do think my face looks, you know, a little bit warmed up, but the skin itself still looks really, really nice. So let's go ahead and try out the blush. Let's just kind of use this lighter one all over the cheek and then maybe use a deeper one to like concentrate it a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just trying to have fun with it. Okay, definitely a lot more pigment from the blush. I feel like on camera, you can't really see how pigmented this is, but this is pretty pigmented. Like, this actually is a really, really beautiful blush on my skin tone. So it seems like the formulas are a little bit different because this is pigmented. I kind of wish the bronzer was as pigmented as this. And again, it's just kind of melting onto the skin. They all seem to have a matte formula except the highlighter, and it looks very perfected and blurred. So I like that. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the darker shade and just kind of pop it up here. Because, like, why not? Why not? Let's overcompensate for the fact that we're not that bronzy. And then lastly, let's look at this highlighter. I kind of want to, ooh, wait. The highlighter actually looks very, very creamy and pigmented. That's a pretty, like, frosty white gold shade. And I'm actually going to wet my brush, and let's just add a little bit on the inner corner as well as the nose. So far, I honestly have been liking all the formulas except the bronzer. I don't think it's a bad formula. I just think it's extremely buildable. And if you want something a little bit more pigmented, I don't know if you're gonna like that. I know that it's like lighter for me, but I do think that the blushes have way more pigment. I do think the face looks really, really nice though. So if you find your perfect shade, I think it's worth looking at it because that blush just looks so matte, but not flat on my face. My skin texture looks really nice. The highlighter is blinding and creamy. And then again, the bronzer looks pretty on the skin. I just wish it had a little bit more pigment, but overall I do think it's pretty. I think if you find your perfect shade, I think it's worth it. If you don't find like perfect colors for you, I don't know if that's gonna be worth it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I am just staring at these brows. Let me fill them in real quick with some eyebrow pencil, and then I'm gonna show you guys my new favorite brow gel. You know what? Let me just talk to you guys for a little bit while I'm filling in my eyebrows. If I seem a little low energy, it's because I am. We went to the Houston rodeo last night to see the Jonas Brothers, and we just had a blast. We met up with some of our best friends, and we did not go to sleep till 1 in the morning, which for me, listen, I go to bed at 10:30 at the latest. So for me, 1 in the morning after walking around in boots all day and screaming my lungs out to the Jonas Brothers, I'm exhausted. Let me show you guys my new favorite brow gel. I actually bought this brow gel because I just wanted to do a little experiment. So you guys know how much I love my Rare Beauty brow gel. It's $13, and I saw that Anastasia Beverly Hills came out with a brow freeze liquid version, and I noticed that like the travel size of this is cheaper than the Rare Beauty one with more product. So it's like the travel size has more, you get more bang for your buck with this than the Rare Beauty original size. They are different formulas. This Anastasia one is very liquidy. I feel like the Rare Beauty one is more like a gel texture, but they're both really, really nice. Really, really nice, sleek packaging. It does have like a soft matte touch, which I love. And let me show you guys the wand. Do you see how gooey that is? It does have like an applicator that is silicone. I kind of wish it didn't, but that's okay. It does have like shorter bristles on one side and longer for the other, depending on what look you're going for. I kind of just like to grab the side of it and add a little bit to my eyebrows first, and then I like to comb it out. And I have just been loving this. It's very liquidy, and so it does give you time to like play with it, but it's like thick enough to where even if it's still wet, you are able to like put your brows in place without having to like let it dry. And once it dries, it truly does not go anywhere. I would say that this actually has more of a stronger like holding power than the Rare Beauty one. When it does dry, your eyebrows do feel like a little bit like hard to the touch, which I personally don't mind. I feel like the Rare Beauty one is still like malleable. So it depends on what you're going for, but if you are just looking for like literally a brow freeze, then just get the brow freeze. But look at the difference it makes whenever I do this. Don't you love it? I just love brow gel. Look at these brows. They're snatched. I don't have a new eyeshadow palette or mascara. I do have a couple lip products that I want to show you guys. So I'm going to kind of do that real quick and I will be right back. Alrighty guys. So I just added bronzer on the crease. I added a little bit of the shimmer from the Ethereal Eyes palette from Makeup by Mario. And then for my mascara, I have the Essence Lash Without Limits mascara. It is so good. So let's move on to some lippies. So I actually have the new Milk Makeup lip oils. They do have like different shades, but the shades aren't really like that different. It's actually mainly about the flavor and the scent that really will make a difference. They're not very pigmented. I did go through all the scents and flavors and swatched them on my lips on my Instagram and TikTok if you guys want to watch it. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on its own first, and then we're going to add it to a lip combo because I do have some new lipsticks as well. As far as this, I really like it. It's definitely like a lip oil. I feel like a lot of lip oils sometimes feel like lip glosses. This actually does feel like a lip oil, but like a thicker lip oil. Sometimes I don't like those lip oils. How many times am I going to say that? Sometimes I don't like the lip oils that are very thin and literally just feel like an actual oil. This is a little bit juicier than that. I'm going to be using the shade Pink Magic, and this one, let's see. This one smells like watermelon. First of all, big doe foot applicator, super nice. And like I said, I really like these. If you prefer a more traditional lip oil with just a little bit more thickness, I think you're gonna like it. I think that the flavors and the scents are really pretty, and it really does like hydrate the lips really nicely. As you guys can see, again, not that much pigment, but very high shine. Not goopy, not sticky, not too thick, not too thin. Just like a really nice classic lip oil that is doing what it has to do. So I really like them. This is what it looks like. Super nice. I'm gonna add this on top of a lip combo that we have yet to decide. So Lancome actually came out with a new lipstick line. They're called the L'Absolu Rouge Intimatte soft matte lipsticks. They came out with a bunch of like pinky and rosy tones, and I was trying to figure out which one I should use. By the way, packaging is stunning. I mean, look at this packaging, and you just click it and it pops right open. So I think we're gonna go ahead and use this shade. This is the shade Self-Revealing 300. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like on the lips first, and then we will add it to a lip liner. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, it definitely feels like a powdery. Ooh, that is such a nice formula. It's like almost like a powdery, moussey type of like matte lipstick. It feels really soft and velvety on the skin or on the lips, but as you guys can see, it's definitely matte. Not super matte. It does have a little bit of give, but I do think that's really pretty. Again, super washed out. So let me just add a lip liner. I actually have a new favorite lip liner. It's from About Face. About Face has such great lip liners. What they look like, they are matte lip liners, and they're super creamy, super pigmented, but they literally dry down and do not move. They do not move. You guys know how much I like that. So today I'm going to be using, again, the About Face. It's called the Fixed Lip Pencil, and I have the shade Smoking Room. But when I tell you, these do not move. They're so creamy. These are like not new. Obviously, it doesn't really go with the video, but I just had to tell you guys because they're amazing. What just fell? Okay, so now let's go ahead and add the lipstick on top to create a little lip combo. Oh my god, that is gorgeous. Stunning, beautiful, CoverGirl, Lancome. Okay, and then let's top it off with, again, the Milk Makeup KUSH Lip Oil in the shade Pink Magic. That is Gorgina. Alrighty guys, and this is the final look. I am so happy with how everything turned out. Honestly, so many amazing products. I think the one that I was just maybe a little iffy about was the Smashbox face palette because of the lack of pigment on the bronzer, but the blushes and the highlighters were beautiful. This foundation just looks stunning. Again, it looks perfected but glowy. The LYS blush, the shimmer is coming through. The lip combo is fire. These brows aren't going anywhere. I mean, truly so many amazing products. So I will link everything down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!